Part 9b, Shadows in the Swamp. Night fell, and Eldrick poured 2 cups of tea. He offered one to Gabi and gestured for him to sit beside him at the table. "I don't quite understand what you did earlier," Eldrick said. Curiosity and confusion etched on his face. Gabi took a seat, sipped from his cup, and began to explain. "I noticed every child lost had one thing in common: dirty homes. The child who recently went missing was sleeping in a barn with cows, and his bed reeked of cow piss. Villagers also mentioned strange dreams and sleepwalking children. The worse the stench in their homes, the worse their curse seemed to be." Eldrick intervened. "But Master Hunter, how could a bad smell be related to the curse? And tell me this, have the villagers always been this dirty?" Eldrick took some time to answer. "Not really. We have a running stream nearby, so our village has always been clean. But after you mentioned it, people do seem to have become filthier lately. I still don't understand how this is connected. Before my last mission of capturing the beast, I came across a man. He was preaching in a village square. He wore good clothes, so he seemed like a nobleman, but he looked more like a regular merchant. He was advising people to keep themselves clean because cleanliness protects you, and filthiness brings trouble. At first, it seemed like he meant staying clean to avoid illness and disease, but it had a deeper meaning. I gave it little thought, but now I believe he meant more than I understood." Eldrick pondered this. "So you mean the villagers' filthiness brought the curse upon them?" "It's a hypothesis," Gabi replied, "but these things seem related: magic and filth." Eldrick went to bed, and Gabi decided to take a look at the lads on watch duty. After some roaming, Gabi found Raja and asked, "How's the watch going?" Raja replied, "It's going fine, nothing unusual yet." Gabi asked, "Anything unusual?" "No, nothing yet," Raja responded. Gabi continued his rounds, noting more people on watch than the last time, then went to bed. Around midnight, the lads on watch duty were growing drowsy. Some leaned against walls, struggling to stay awake, while others had already succumbed to sleep, slumped against the village buildings. Tariq was making his rounds along the village boundaries when he spotted a child heading into the field. The darkness made it hard to see clearly, but Tariq shouted, "Hey, what are you doing there?" The child didn't respond, moving as if in a trance. Tariq called out again, "Hey, come back! Where are you going?" But the child remained unresponsive. Tariq's heart pounded as he watched the child continue deeper into the field. The moonlight cast eerie shadows, making it difficult to discern what was happening. He shouted again, "Come back! It's not safe out here." But the child seemed oblivious. Realizing the urgency of the situation, Tariq took a deep breath and whistled sharply, the signal whistle they had agreed upon. He repeated the whistle 2 or 3 times, hoping his companions would hear and come to help. But time was slipping away, and the child was getting farther. Tariq made a split-second decision and sprinted after the child, the tall grass whipping against his legs as he ran. He shouted again, "Come back! It's not safe out here!" But the child remained unresponsive. As he closed the distance, Tariq could see the child's silhouette more clearly in the faint moonlight. The child seemed unhinged, moving mechanically, eyes fixed straight ahead. Tariq's breath grew heavy, his muscles burning as he pushed himself to run faster. The child entered the dark, foreboding forest. Tariq hesitated at the edge, the thick canopy blocking out most of the moonlight. He could barely see a few feet in front of him. Summoning his courage, he plunged into the darkness, his heart hammering in his chest. "Stop! Where are you going?" he shouted, his voice trembling. Inside the forest, the darkness was oppressive. Tariq stumbled over roots and undergrowth, the dim light of his lantern flickering as he pushed through the dense foliage. He could hear the child ahead, the rustling of leaves and snapping of twigs guiding him. The air was thick with the scent of damp earth and decay, making it difficult to breathe. Tariq's shouts seemed to be swallowed by the darkness. "Please stop! Come back!" he pleaded, but the child remained unresponsive. He pushed on, his determination fueled by fear and desperation. Finally, they emerged from the other side of the forest, where a swamp lay waiting. Mud splattered Tariq's clothes, and his lantern provided just enough light to see the child ahead. As Tariq got closer, his feet became stuck in the mud. He shone his lantern and realized that the child was a girl, and not just any girl, but Lila. Panic surged through him as he struggled to free himself, shouting her name. Lila, come back! Lila seemed possessed, her steps unyielding as she moved deeper into the swamp. Tariq's cries went unanswered. He felt a chill run down his spine as he watched her move further away. Desperation clawed at him as he struggled against the thick mud, his movements sluggish and futile. A chilling wolf howl pierced the air, sending a shiver down his spine. He looked around, desperate to find something to grasp, but the mud made it impossible. Then, out of the darkness, he saw two eyes reflecting the lantern's light. More eyes appeared, revealing a pack of wolves emerging from the woods. Fear gripped Tariq as the wolves stared at him, their presence a menacing reminder of the dangers lurking in the night. Tariq was terrified, so much so that he could barely breathe. The wolves' eyes glowed eerily in the dim light, and Tariq's heart raced as he realized the dire situation he was in. The wolves crept closer, their growls low and menacing. He could feel the cold sweat on his brow as he realized he was trapped, unable to move or call for help effectively.